So the 2020 Love Island series has started, and from a body language perspective, the games have already started to be played. Just from the first episode, we have had 2 world record attempts. Someone doing a brilliant Michael Jackson impression, and an admission that one of them has never seen a swimming pool before. So it's BelievingBruce, the body language guy. Body language, psychology, mental health, etc. If you like anything about the head and the heart, this is the channel for you. And remember, body language and all this stuff does not have to be boring. It's not boring. It can be educational, it can be fun, and this is the purpose of my channel. So if you are interested in finding out a little bit more about how somebody lies, a little bit more about body language reading, or psychology or performance in general, then subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It'd be good to see you there. And also, leave your comments below. That's where we get a lot of the banter and the education. Comment below. What are you seeing? What are you picking up on? What are you noticing from a body language perspective? Am I missing anything that you say, hey, BelievingBruce, take a look at this. What's going on in their heads and their hearts? So remember, this is the first episode. Now, these people have dreamed about being on this program. They've visualized about being on this program. They've created stories and narratives in their head about how fantastic it's going to be and how famous they're going to be. They've painted pictures of adoration and how the general public are going to cling to them and follow them and all this type of stuff. Which remember, there's nothing wrong with that. It's beautifully authentic, but that's what they're doing it for. So from a body language perspective, this could be really interesting because the excitement's gone. You know, the desire to be in there, the part of the brain called the reward center, it's been flooded with certain hormones. The synapses are firing, everything's like, oh, this is great. It's like Christmas Eve. This is what we've been waiting for. Santa is coming to empty. I'll come up with a different explanation. Santa's coming to empty your sack. But the whole idea is they've thought about this, the visual, and here it is. This is where it just got real for them. But also with walking through remember the hormones are starting to go up, all that reward center stuff. But with that peak, there can come a crash, and this is what we're seeing tonight as well. Even on the first episode, we're seeing these peaks and troughs, which is not ideal for the people that did sign up for that. But it's really entertaining for us as the viewer, and that's what makes Love Island so addictive. We go on this emotional roller coaster with them. We see the highs, we see the lows. They are but human, as are we. But boy oh boy do we get some crashes on the first episode. But it's also about the banter as well. You know, like I said, body language doesn't have to be boring. Mental health doesn't have to be boring. It's a big spectrum. It can be all-encompassing. It can help us be the authentic version of us, for you to be the best version of yourself. So, just some snippets that I picked up on. Here's a little example of Shawnice, who's never seen a swimming pool before.
Look at the pool. That's like, I've never seen anything like it.
To be fair, if you're really happy with 2 lanes, you should come down to the council swimming pool in Newcastle. It's got 6. And there's obviously a little bit of confusion here about how she spells her name. And obviously there's a little bit of confusion here about how she spells her name.
Oh, lovely to meet you. I'm Shawnice. Shawnice. Yeah. It's really confusing, especially the way it's spelled as well. Shawnice. It's literally like Shawnice.
So if the name is Shawnice, how do you spell it?
Like Shawnice.
That'll be Shawnice. And then she offers another beautiful intellectual insight about something that we should know about her.
Having the second name Fudge does make me feel really unique. I absolutely don't like fudge.
She doesn't even like fudge. And there's another lady comes on who was the ex-girlfriend of Lewis Capaldi. She obviously hasn't leveraged that fact to get on the show, so we'll bypass her. I'm a big fan of the Capaldi. What's really interesting in here is there's 3 ladies discussing the criteria for how good looking you've got to be for then cheating to become acceptable.
Looks this time, because usually I don't.
Oh, okay.
Usually I don't, but then they do always, like, regardless, ugly, not ugly, do you know what I mean? They will do whatever they want to, so, but it burns a bit more when it's like, you're not even...
So apparently cheating's okay if you're good looking, but when you're not on the good looking scale, it's not acceptable because it burns a little bit more. In this little clip here, you see it's one of the first boys to come in, who's Naz, and you know, Naz is obviously anticipating some type of positive reception.
That's what I was expecting.
You were expecting that, big fella. That's very bold of you. You're obviously expecting a warm welcome, so let's see who steps forward.
That's what I was expecting. Maybe.
Crash and burn there, son. I bet you weren't.
That's what I was expecting.
I bet you weren't expecting that. Do you see what I did there? Okay. And then from a bit of body language here. Obviously Naz didn't get picked. He then had to force himself. That's what they're having to do. They have to force themselves onto somebody to try and couple up because this is the rules of the game. And then from a body language perspective, obviously Naz had to force himself effectively on one of the lucky 5 ladies because, hey, that's the name of the game. But then you can see from this picture here, Naz is like sort of pulling Shanice towards him. He's like, you're not going anywhere. You're mine, you know, and he's making... Now, I'm not sure if this was from, you know, where they do them weird mannequin shots. Really freaked me out. Yeah, so his hand might have still been there, to be fair to Naz. However, it looks like he's pulling in. You're not going anywhere. You're mine, I'm marking my turf. Which makes it even funnier when this happens. But to be fair to Naz, you could see in the future, because as he's just said,
That's what I was expecting.
he expects everything, Naz, doesn't he? And then we've got a comical genius, Connor.
I'm Connor, I'm 25, from Brighton, and I sell coffee beans.
Wait for the joke.
I love coffees. Everyone now calls me Mr. Bean. Tell you what, I know I get bean when I see one.
Did you see what he did there? You're like, but seems a good lad, Connor. One worth watching. But for those of you who are interested in body language, again, with the first episode, there's not much going on because everybody is on high alert. We're not getting the real authentic version of them. There is some body language clues and body language clusters coming out of there, but with the first episode, it's almost like an alternate fake type universe. Give it a couple and you'll start seeing the real them coming out. But there's a really good example here of some body language. So remember, with body language, what we're looking for is comfort or discomfort, synchrony, congruence. Is what's going on lining up with what the body, or is what they're saying lining up with what the body's doing? Discomfort, comfort, that's the two biggest things that we're looking for. So I'm going to show you this video and watch how Leanne reacts to Michael's hug. Oh my God, that's not looking good, is it? Yeah, now there could be many reasons for this, alright? It's not that Michael stinks, it's not that she's fine, you know, and she's trying to get away. Oh. No, it might not be that. It could be that she's feeling pressure. It could be that she's shy. But at that moment when Michael goes for the hug, it's as if she's doing that Michael Jackson dance so her feet are staying planted. But if she could, she's trying to get her body further and further away. And if you notice what she's doing with her eyes as well, yeah, her literally whole body is turned and her eyes are gazing out into the distance. It's like, I would rather be across there. Again, that doesn't mean that she doesn't find Michael attractive. It just means that she's, you know, it could mean that she's uncomfortable with the situation. She might be a shy lady. A little shy lady going around in a bikini on Love Island. Yeah, that's probably a wrong assumption of mine. But here we've got a world record verbalization attempt by Naz. How many actuallys can you put into one sentence?
Disney is my fave.
Are you actually being serious?
Yeah.
Are you actually,
Do you like Disney?
I actually love Disney films.
No, yeah.
Are you actually,
Do you like
love,
Disney?
I actually love Disney films.
No.
And then we've got Leanne talking to Michael here. Again, this is it's a great opportunity, and Michael proves himself to be quite truthful. But there's a bit of thinking before he does this, so just watch this little clip here.
Exciting.
So you touch like murderers?
I mean, nah, probably not me per se.
So what Michael does is he purses his lips. When somebody it's called lip compression. It's like, I want to say something, but I'm not. So, when Leanne asks him, does he deal with murderers? There's that bit of ego, that bit of male ego, if you will, that wants to say, yeah, I'm the baddest cop in the UK. I want you to fancy me. I want you to desire me. But you get, he almost goes like that to say something, but then the logical part of the brain starts kicking in. It's like, hey, brother Michael, this is just not you trying to woo her or lie to her to, you know, to big yourself up in a nightclub. It's like, the whole country's watching this. But then what's really interesting is when the girls come back and they discuss it, you know, their partners, who they're coupled up with, etc. Leanne does a thing what's called eye blocking.
I mean, he's not the plumber, but he's a policeman. They're not the plumber, but he's a policeman. The plumber, but he's a policeman.
Yeah, now eye blocking is where you're trying to block out an image of the past or an image of the future. But when you've got eye blocking in any body language, you know, you've got a normal baseline. What do they do normally within any given space? And if they do anything more or less than that, then that's what we'd pick up on from a body language perspective, at least just to dig a little bit further. And so what Leanne does here is she's explaining, you know, about Michael, and then, well, I didn't get my plumber because that's what she had referenced before. But then you'll see that when she says I didn't get my plumber, she blinks 3 times. Now remember, body language, it's what somebody says and what the body does at the exact time. So if she was to blink, you know, 3 minutes later, it's probably not lined up with what you were saying at that particular time. But what we look for is body language. What are they saying and what they're doing? And does the body line up with what words are being said?
The plumber, but he's a policeman.
And then you get when Ollie is talking to Paige and he's on about, look, I screwed up, I basically cheated on one of my previous girlfriends, and you'll see Paige starts to narrow her eyes.
I went to uni with my first girlfriend, and being brutally honest with you, I cocked up first time round.
Now again, that narrowing of the eyes is a form of eye blocking. Yeah, what we're trying to do is we're trying to self-preserve ourselves because she feels some threat.
First time round.
So yeah, it's like I'm being cautious, but what she's doing is really, she's diminishing the amount that she can see Ollie because she didn't like what she heard. And again, all of these are just basic body language assessments or explorations or awareness tools that we'll go through further in this series when there's more body language, when they're being more authentic and the threat level is being raked up. What's really good here is, but I'm just going to show you it and see if you can see the difference when they're taking the mick out of Connor that he's had a threesome. Watch his body position and how it changes.
You got yourself a keeper, not the one that has a threesome on the first date. Jeez!
You hate me tonight. You hate me. You are. You are. I'm just being. You hate me.
So like here he's open. And then when it's mentioned, you know, he feels like he's being dug out, as you just said. You'll see this comes across. We're protecting the thoracic area. We're protecting our organs. That's what we do. We're giving ourselves a little bit of a cuddle because we're not feeling too well. So again, because that word was said at that particular time and this was the action, you can see what's going on inside Connor's head. And that's great. So although he's trying to smile, it's his body that's the giveaway about how he's really feeling. But then we've got Bobby and Tubby, the twins who enter. I'm not even sure if they're called Bobby and Tommy. Can't remember their names to be fair. But they come down, obviously they're the threat. All the girls start panicking. The guys are really excited. And then they're asked a question and just see how Connor reacts here.
Like a vibe with someone.
Is there anyone taking your fancy now? Is there anyone taking your fancy now?
The signal that he gives off is just to realise, hey, yeah, please be me. That smile, that engaged look. He's like he's just seen a sweet shop where someone's left the keys in the door and nobody's home. So again, from a body language perspective, I wasn't really expecting much. It always, you know, that sort of fake type exciting world that they've just stepped into. But hopefully, you know, the lip compression, the thoracic protection, the eye blocking, all of these things and many more will allow us to start getting, which is just a basic understanding that we can build more education on. So over the period of this series, you become an amateur Sherlock Holmes, you can start reading body language, and your partner will never ever be able to lie to you anymore. In an instant, you'll get the answer, and they'll actually be more truthful because you know they're on the case. They know you've been educated by BelievingBruce. So please follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Please share my video, it would be great if I can get some mentions or shout outs. Tag me in your story. Subscribe on the channel, set your notifications if you want to find out more about body language, because I'll be doing these as the series continues. But more importantly, believe in Bruce. Be kind to yourselves and each other.